Happy June 3rd, everybody. I really debated going live or not this week beyond my radio show, and it has been an interesting number of days. I posted on Friday, and I'm not sure whether this is going to be coherent or not, but I figured, if you know me and you follow me, then one of the key tenets for me is you need to know who I am and what I stand for, and et cetera, et cetera. And that we're not all perfect, as you guys have seen from a number of things. Hey, Mara. So on Friday, after a lot of the events that happened, I posted about just being tired, just really, really tired. And I've had a number of people since then ask me, what can we do? And how can we help? And on and on and on and on. And I really had to pray a lot before my radio show on Tuesday, because as y'all know, I love Tuesdays because I get to be on the radio and I get to share that time with all of you. And we get to talk about stuff that's important and we get to help make change. But I had to really think about the show on Tuesday and really be mindful and prayerful about Tuesday because I'm tired. And by the time Tuesday came around, and Monday night, and I don't normally sleep the night before my radio show anyway, but I really didn't sleep this night. And it was anger and frustration and irritation and fear and all of those things that occurred simply because of who I am. And I am blessed to have such amazing people in my life, and to have, amazing parents. A dad who made us aware all the time of who we were and where we were and to be mindful. A mom who did the same thing, especially growing up in West Texas. There's like 2% Black people in West Texas. So this was our life growing up this way. And so it's not unusual to have experiences like we've seen. I have been followed around stores. I have been asked questions that no one else would answer. I have been in meetings where my perspective, my opinion, my intellect, my knowledge has been completely dismissed. I left corporate America as one of the only 2 senior level executive African-American women in a global company of 17,000 people. So let me say that again. 2 African-American women out of 17,000 globally. So you can imagine the course to get there. And I wouldn't necessarily change anything. I think those things that we go through and the things we struggle with are the things that make us stronger. The battle scars are the things that give us insight and give us data points to make better decisions going forward. And I am tired. And as I said on my show, I really don't want anyone else to ask me if I'm okay, or any other Black person if they're okay, because the answer to that is no. The answer to that yes, no question right now is no. I am not okay. And I haven't been okay for quite some time. What I have been is what I have learned to do, which is put the mask on, suck it up, make sure you pay attention to your language so you can be heard. Make sure you watch your face so people can understand. Make sure that you are deferential and respectful and all of those things that we have been trained to do just to survive. Since 1619. This is not just since last week. This is not just since last year. This is generations old, just having our personhood acknowledged. And as I left corporate intentionally, it was just time. When you begin to wake up and realize that you haven't slept on a Sunday for 6 years, because you know what's coming on Monday. You know the battles are going to start first thing Monday. When you are the first person in the office at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and the last one to leave at 8 or 9 o'clock at night because you spent the middle of the day taking care of everybody else's stuff, and making sure everybody else is okay, and then you have to wait and get your stuff done later. When you sit in meetings and have agreements and people come back and decide that what you said wasn't really what you meant, or they explain or re-explain or whitewash or ghost your story, and then act like you're the one that's crazy, like you're the one that didn't understand after they've rewritten history. When you sit in a meeting about diversity, about how we can do better, about bringing higher levels of gender. And let's not get it twisted. When you talk about diversity right now, that's why there's so much around pay equity, because gender is easy. Let me say that again. Gender is easy. It is easier for me to have the conversations about gender because I don't have to talk about the things that really uncover some bias that I'm not ready to deal with. Because gender conversations tend to, right, wrong, or indifferent, tend to mean, how can we get more white women? Because then we fulfilled our diversity quota. And so I sit in meetings where we talk about diversity, and I had a conversation with an executive, and the executive said, we don't have diversity issues. And once again, I had to fix my face. I had to calm down. I had to remember where I was and not respond in the way that was, are you effing kidding me? I'm the only one that looks like me sitting in this room. And it's been forever since you've had that. Probably never had that. And I said, well, so let's take this simply. Who's on your leadership team? Who do you go to lunch with? Who do you have meetings with today? Who do you put on your projects? What do they look like? Where have they been? Are they the same people who have been here forever? Are they the same people who look like you? They think like you. They've been like you. And oh, by the way, another issue with diversity is we spend a lot of time saying we really want diversity of thought. We want to hire all these people outside of the company. And then they get there and you say, yeah, but that's not how we do it. Or you pretend that their career started when they walked across your threshold. Well, I'm here to tell you, for me, my career didn't start when I got to your door. I've been doing this a long time. This ain't my first rodeo. And many of us are in that same position. This ain't our first rodeo. This is not new. This challenge is not new. These issues are not new. The bias is not new. The arguments that are happening that make absolutely no sense are not new. And our irritation and frustration and anger are not new. What appears to be new is the number of people that have finally said, it is time. It is time. And those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. So I've been talking to a number of people over time. Hey, Kevin, I see you there too. I need to call you. Happy birthday. Then I've been talking to a number of people, and these kind of things always happen to get the world back in balance. And so maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is just rebalancing. Maybe this is just trying to bring everything back to where it's supposed to be. And that there's probably a lot of truth to that. And that doesn't make me any less tired and any less frustrated, any less fearful, because there are people in my life, men and women in my life, who matter to me more than my life. And if something were to happen to them, my ability to be sane around that situation is going to be zero. My response to that situation is going to be less than professional. My ability to be forgiving is probably going to be non-existent, because those people matter to me. And if something happens to them simply because they showed up or they were present and they looked like this, that's not all right. And it will never be all right. And it's never been all right. And so as I sit here today, determined to continue to show up, determined to continue to serve, determined that no other woman of color, and in particular Black women, and in particular Black women in corporate, no other one is going to go to work or go home and think, I must be crazy. It must be me. I must have lost the ability to communicate. I knew I could communicate before. I don't know what's happened. I must be crazy. I must be losing my mind. I'm here to tell you, it's not you. It's not you. Now, don't get me wrong. We got to own our own stuff. Like, I know I don't have a poker face. So I know there are times when I have to fix my face, or at least fix the words that come out of my mouth, because I can't fix my face. At this age, I'm not getting a poker face, and I'm not going to work on getting one. So I need to work on the words that come out of my mouth being words that I intend for them to be. And as the saying goes, you don't want to burn bridges. But there's another piece of that saying. When you get ready to burn a bridge, make sure it's a bridge that you don't ever intend to cross again. And there are some bridges that need to be burned. There are people who are true allies. There are people who are hurting just as hard as we are, even though their experiences are different. There are people who truly want to be educated and truly want to make a change. And to all of those people, I say, thank you, and I need a minute. I need a minute. Yes, there are resources. Yes, I am more than willing to talk about my experiences, but my experiences are my experiences, and they are likely similar to other people that look like me, but they are not the same. My brother's experiences are not the same as mine. And so I ask for, let me rephrase that. I stand for and demand grace as I move through this process along with my other Black friends. And I use Black intentionally and not African American, because it is about being Black right now. It is about race. It is not about ethnicity. And so I ask and demand some grace in moving through this process and moving through this time with as much grace as I can give myself, as much patience as I can give myself, as much love as I can give myself, so that I can then extend that to live the purpose that I know I have been put on this earth to live. And I am more than happy to have deep discussions, even heated discussions. We do not have to agree to be friends. But those discussions need to come from a place of desiring to listen, to learn, and listen to understand, not listening to respond. Because I've had enough of the responses. I've had enough of the, oh, I didn't really mean it. You just took that the wrong way. You're overly sensitive. Oh, not you, because you're not like them. And that is one thing that every Black person has heard who has any friends that are not Black. You're not like them. You're different than them. I am them. I am them. And if you have a problem with them, you have a problem with me. And the problem is even worse, and my irritation is even greater, and my trust is even lower if you have the gall and the audacity to stand in front of me and say that and think that it's okay, and that I somehow understand that I'm different and I am okay and I am tolerable because I am somehow other. Because I'm not other. I am me. And I am Black. This is how I show up every day. And because this is how I show up every day, people get a chance to make a decision and determine a perspective and have a position about me before I open my mouth. And I'm tired. And I'm tired for my friends, and I'm tired for my family, and I'm tired for my allies, because this is just the beginning. This has been a 400-year marathon. And as my friend Dina says, yes, we have to be gracious because we don't know what race people have run before they get to work every day. And I'll take it even further in the conversations that we've had with her. What we don't know is how many marathons that person of color has run before they walked in that threshold that you've now decided means that they don't know anything. And they're now on the starting line with you to sprint that day. But their 4 marathons are already run. So in this day, on this day, I remain tired. I remain frustrated. I remain upset. I remain emotional. And I remain determined to make as big an impact as I can make, because I am not broken. I am not crazy. I am not stupid, but I am them. And because I am them, I will no longer be quiet. Now, my thing is not necessarily to march. That we all have different ways in which we protest. And part of mine is going to be where I spend my dollars, which already has been that way, but it absolutely will continue to be where I spend my dollars. And part of that will continue to be speaking truth to power. And I will say the same thing that I said on my radio show to any of you who are listening, who are in HR or who know people who are in HR. If you cannot have the courage to speak up and speak truth to power and call out that person that has been making those gender-based or race-based jokes, that person who has refused to hire people or promote people, that person that is making those passive-aggressive statements, then you need to get the hell out of HR. And I mean that with every fiber of my being, because people are counting on you to walk the line between what the culture is meant to be and how the actions support that culture. And if the culture is truly one where they do not want diversity and inclusion, then just own that. Because I'd rather know that and keep it moving than have you pretend that you're really trying to do something different and then lie. Because I'm not stupid, and neither are the people that work for you. So you need to stand up. And if you can't stand up, you need to step off. Because there are people ready to come behind you who are willing to speak truth to power. And that's not about being nasty. That's not about being ugly, because you don't have to be unkind to be clear. But let's be clear. This is not okay. And we are tired. And your Black friends are not okay. And that's not the question to ask. The question to ask is, what can I do? And if it is within my power to do it, I intend to do so. That's what you ask. Not, are you okay? Because we are not okay. I am not okay. I will be okay because I know who I am and I know whose I am. But I need a minute. I need a minute to take care of me. And to take care of those who look like me and those I love and those who love me. And I need time to gather that strength from my village, from my sister friends, from my allies, from my brother, from all my brothers, from the men in my life who are amazing, amazing men of color, who are some of the strongest men that I have ever met in my life. And I would put them up against anybody that you ever come up against, from my dad to my uncles, to my cousin, to my brother, to my best male friends. They operate with integrity. They operate with love. They are ingenious people. They are strong. They are resilient. They are brilliant. And just because they show up looking other does not negate any of that. So, I debated whether or not to come on live today because I am clearly still frustrated, still tired, still irritated, still upset, still angry, and still emotional. And as I build this business and I go out and live my purpose and bring people to me so that I can serve and that I can help, it is important to understand and have people who want to work with me understand that, one, I get it because I've been there. I've been in that room where I'm the only one. I've been in that room where I have an idea that's different, and just because it comes out of my mouth, it's negated. And when it comes out of the person that doesn't look like me, the exact same words, it's all of a sudden genius. I've been there. I've been the person who's really tried to be okay and make apologies and stroke everyone else's ego. I've been that person. I understand that sometimes you got to do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. And there's still some of that. However, that threshold for me of what I am willing to do until I can do what I want to do is much, much lower. It's much, much lower. Maybe that's time. Maybe that's age. Maybe that's I'm just done. But what I am not is I am not broken. I am not crazy. And I am not finished fighting for what I know to be right. And I'm going to do the best I can to do that. And so if you want a dialogue with me, I am more than willing to do that. Just be prepared. If you want to come at me with some crazy, I would suggest that not happen. Because my willingness to be kind in that situation has long passed. Now, I'm still going to be, as I wrote on Friday, I'm still going to be the person that my parents raised. I'm still going to be that woman who is respectful, who is as kind-hearted as she can be, who leads with love, and who represents my family the best way I can. I am also that woman who is battle-tested and scarred and pretty damn tired. And so if you want to come at me with your opinion, Own your opinion, but be prepared for mine to be different, and be prepared for me to be as adamant about mine based on my truth as you are about yours. And be ready for me to be absolutely, adamantly intolerant of your desire to explain my experiences to me, or worse yet, explain them away, because you didn't live them. I did. You didn't experience them. I did. So there is no way you can come to me and say that my experiences don't matter. I misinterpreted them. I shouldn't have felt that way. That's not your decision to make. And what I'm also committed to do going forward is I'm committed to keep showing up. I'm committed to get back to the way I like to live, which is glass half full, because I do believe that this is going to get better. I believe that I have a gift and a purpose. I believe that to whom much is given, much is expected. And I am determined to go out and do everything I can do to make my little piece of all of this the best I can make it, and to positively impact everyone that I touch. And there is nothing that is happening that is going to make me stray from that. This is a bump. It's a big bump. And it is a significant blow to my ability to stay focused and my ability to remain kind and calm and professional. And I know who I am, and I know whose I am. And I have an amazing village. And I have people who love me, scarred and all. And I have people who pump me up and who also kick my butt. And I would not be able to do what I'm doing now or be where I am now without them. And I am very, very clear about that. And so as I end this, and hopefully it made sense. If it didn't, it was my truth. I just want to say thank you to those who are allies. I want to say to all of my Black kings, Black men, I love you. I love you with all of my heart. And there are many of you in particular, and some of y'all I'm gonna call out because I'm just going to, even though you don't want me to. And Kevin, because you're on, you know you're one of them. My heart and soul. My brother, Jay, my cousins in Dallas, a little bit cray-cray, but I love y'all. My cousin in Arizona, my nephews, my best friend and his brother in Austin. I just don't know. Renee and E and Michael and John, and I have no words for how much you mean to me, and how much I support you, and how much I love you, and how much nothing that other people say and nothing that this world says takes away how important you are to the fabric of this nation, because you are the ones that help build all this stuff that people are trying to tear down. And I know that, and they know that. And this is about fear. And you guys are stronger than them. You're stronger than me. Thank God, because right now I really need you, all of you. And to my sisters, my mom and my cousin, there's so many of y'all, I don't even know where to start. Thank you. And to my allies and sisters, thank you. This is a point in time, and this is a marathon, and this is a time when true leaders step up and where poor leaders need to step off. And those of us who are strong enough need to help them be successful somewhere else, because their time is over. Their time is over. And the only way we can make sure that happens is to vote. The only way we can make sure that happens is to stand up when we see it and say, not today. And again, we don't have to be ugly to be candid. We don't have to be ugly to be clear. But we do have to say, that's not okay when we are staring in the face of this stuff. So with that, it's probably a little bit early for an adult beverage, and I have a few more things I have to do today, so I probably shouldn't do that. But for those of you who tuned in, thank you for listening. Thank you for this time, for me to be able to speak my truth to what's going on right now. And as you can see, I am still very emotional. But that's today. and tomorrow is another day. And in about 5 minutes, it's another hour. And I will continue to be here, and I'll continue to show up, and I'll continue to be the person that I have been raised to be, that I expect me to be, and that I want to be for all of those people that I love and those people that love me. And so if you need me, you know where to find me. And I appreciate the time you spent listening to this. And I hope that all of you have someone in your lives that's saying, what can I do to help? I am absolutely committed if it's in my power to do so. Thanks, y'all. I love you. Bye.